Hello everyone, today I'm on the Lower East Side of Manhattan and I will be beginning my tour off of East Houston Street, and this is Ludlow. And though the Lower East Side might have at one time been better known for its large Jewish population, and they still have quite a few of these delis. This is the infamous Katz Deli. It doesn't really feel all that Jewish anymore. There's quite a mix of people. There's certainly well-off people, and there's a lot of housing projects, and there's actually one right here across the street from the Katz Deli. That large brick building there, that's the Max Meltzer Tower. And that particular housing project is for senior citizens, so it's probably one of the better housing projects in New York City. But the Lower East Side is also home to some pretty large public housing projects, which I will get to towards the end of my tour. And if you are in the Lower East Side, and if you want to go to this Katz Deli here, so there's always a pretty long line of tourists waiting to get in, and a corned beef sandwich here is about $25. But not sure if the tourists realize this, that you could basically walk about a block up East Houston Street, and there's a really cheap pizza shop up here. Anyhow, it's a bit of an overcast day for Manhattan. Kind of cooler. Temperatures are in the 50s. Kind of cool for spring. And some of these businesses here aren't doing too well. This one on the left here is another vacant store. Starting to see a lot of these stores are vacant, and it doesn't seem they've done too well because of the coronavirus, and tourism has dropped off quite a bit. But just 2 short blocks from the Katz Deli, here's a 99-cent pizza, and it's a pretty good place to stop in and grab a slice of pizza there. And if the $1 pizza slices aren't for you and you still don't mind to wait in line at the Katz Deli, they are pretty busy. And the Katz Deli, it's a Jewish kosher style dietitian, and each week they serve 15,000 pounds of pastrami, 8,000 pounds of corned beef, and 2,000 pounds of salami, and over 4,000 hot dogs. And I'm going to continue my tour here, walking down Ludlow Street. And the building directly across from the Katz Deli is a condominium. And just to give you an idea of what places rent for around here, this is 188 Ludlow Street, and this building was built in 2006, and a 2-bedroom apartment there starts in the $6,000 range. And I'm going to continue walking down Ludlow, and on the left, the next business is the Ludlow Hotel, and this is listed as a 4.5-star hotel. Overall, has pretty good customer reviews, and before the coronavirus they were charging about $300 per night, and now they're in the low $200 per night range. And across the street from the hotel, they have a Italian tavern. This is called Taverna di Bacco, and this is also showing up as another 4.5-star business. A pasta plate here is between $20 and $30. And now when you start to get into the older part, the rents go down quite a bit. to rent a two-bedroom apartment in one of these older brick buildings. It's around the high $3,000 range, $3,800 a month. And most of the buildings are rather old. And there's a pizzeria across the street, La Margarita. That's a little bit more expensive. They don't sell the dollar slices there. A whole pizza is about $20. And the next business to the right is a September wine and spirits store. It looks like they have a lot of selection of wines. And just about to cross Stanton Street. And this long line here is for a Korean rice hot dog store, and this must be about 50 people in this line. And at this store you can get a mozzarella beef hot dog rolled in sugar for about $6. And off to the left, here's another closed business. They're not really doing too good of a job of keeping the graffiti off of these buildings. And continuing down Ludlow Street, looks like they have the traffic for the street blocked off today, so you could actually walk in the street without having to worry about cars. And to the right is a hair salon, and to the left looks like a clothing business. It's called Vintage by Round 2. And to the right is a Italian bakery. It's called Creperie. And at the Creperie store, a apple creperie is about $7 there. The next business to the right is a Surfani, and this looks like an Italian restaurant, and they do have their menu out. Saved me the time of looking them up online. Let's see what a pasta plate is, about $20 there. And they're listed online as being a 4-star restaurant. And the next business across the street, this is Wolf Knight's Gourmet Wraps. And this is also a pretty well-rated business. It's showing up as a 4.5-star restaurant, and a chicken wrap sandwich in that restaurant will cost about $12. And across the street is actually another, at one time, good rated business, and that was called Pretty Rick's Bar. Not too sure about what people were up to in that bar, but as far as the business go, it was listed as a 4.5-star business on Google, and it looks like it closed because of the coronavirus. And continuing up Ludlow, to the right, here's another restaurant and bar, SETLES. And across the street there's a chicken restaurant that's called 375 Chicken, and that's listed as a 4-star business on Google. A buttermilk fried chicken sandwich is $10 there. And to the right, here's a grocery store. It's a pretty small store. Things are a little bit expensive in these smaller grocery stores. A gallon of milk is about $5 and a loaf of bread is around $3. So depends on how you think about it. It's kind of a far drive. I'm not even sure if they even have a Walmart out here, but there's really not too many major grocery stores. There is a Whole Foods, and that's about maybe a half mile from here, but that's also pretty expensive as well. But that's probably the only decent sized grocery store that they have on the Lower East Side. And the next street here is Delancey Street, and I will be making a left turn. And all this traffic on Delancey Street is coming from Brooklyn, and that bridge down there is the Williamsburg Bridge that connects Brooklyn and Manhattan, and it's just one of the many bridges that they have that connect the two cities. And I'll just be walking down Delancey Street. To the left is a doctor's office, Mount Sinai Doctors. And to the left looks like some condo buildings. That large brown building there is a condo apartment building, and a one-bedroom apartment in that building starts at $3,900 a month. And over to the left is a McDonald's. Are you a human? Are you a human? And we're probably about maybe a half mile from the housing projects. Quite a bit of graffiti around here. It's showing up as a restaurant. It was a Roma pizza restaurant, so things are kind of not too great when a pizza restaurant goes out of business. Building next to that, the one in the center, that's a newer office building, and a address for that building is not even showing up because it's basically under construction. And to the left is a Dunkin' Donuts, followed by a 7-Eleven and a Burger King. And over to the right across Delancey, looks like another new office building. That one is from the sign, it says EssexOffice.com, and that looks to be pretty empty there. And some more small businesses to the left. Here's a dentist office and a 99-cent pizza store, so some more cheap pizza. And up ahead is the Williamsburg Bridge. And they do have a bike and a pedestrian crossway that goes all the way across the bridge there. And I'm not sure what street I'm crossing here. There's no sign. That seems to happen quite a bit too, and it's always a good idea to have a GPS or your smartphone with you so you basically know where you're at. And to the left looks like another closed business. And it looks like Delancey Street branches off, and up above there's the Williamsburg Bridge access. And still on Delancey Street, some more businesses off to the left. A wing store which is closed, bicycle shop, and a few vacant stores at the end. And here's a street sign, Attorney Street. Not sure how many attorneys' offices are right in this particular area. I don't think there's going to be too many of them. And you sort of know you're getting a little bit closer to the public housing as the graffiti picks up a bit, as it is doing on the right side. Now crossing Ridge Street, and off to the right is the Williamsburg Bridge. And somewhere nearby there's a subway car passing underneath. These streets are notoriously known for having subways at almost every block. And another train is passing by off to the right, and just about to the housing projects here. And this is the public housing. To the left is the Samuel Gompers projects. That's the tan colored building. And further down, those brick buildings are the Barrage Houses. And this is a pretty big complex. There's about 3,000 individual apartments in this complex. It's actually one of the largest in New York City. And the Lower East Side has about a dozen of these complexes. It's just a massive public housing works. And this opened in 1959. It looks like they have a pretty heavy duty fencing and gate around the entire public housing works here. But surprisingly, the kinds of cars people drive, they're mostly newer. I mean, there's a new Lexus right there, a new Volvo. It's not really as bad as I thought it would be, and it doesn't look like this is open to the public. There's a guard booth right there. It looks like this person is driving inside with his brand new Suburban. There's a newer Mercedes back there. And off to the right, some newer foreign cars. And up above to the right, that's the Williamsburg Bridge. And here's a closer view of the Barrage Houses. And that just goes on for about at least 2 blocks down there. Maybe not such a bad place to live. I mean, just judging from the cars people drive, but I'm not too sure if I want to walk around here at night. Looks like they have a pizza and grocery store here off to the left. And just out of curiosity, I'm going to do a little shopping in the Key Foods public housing supermarket here. Just going to be checking out the prices, see what kind of food they got for sale here. Grapes are $3.99 a pound. Quite a bit more expensive than the street food, but about the same price as Whole Foods. See, a pack of ground beef is 80% lean, $3.99 a pound. Not too bad. Cheaper than most of the neighborhood supermarkets so far. Let's see, some skinless chicken breasts, $5.49 a pound. Not bad. And here's some bottled water, $1.29 a gallon. That's a pretty good deal. It's mostly like twice as expensive. And a gallon of milk is $3.89 a gallon. And here's the bread, $1.99 for a loaf of bread. Overall, this is probably a pretty good place to shop. This might be one of the cheaper places, except for the produce. See how much the ready-made baked chickens are, $7.99 a chicken. It's okay. Overall, that wasn't as bad as I thought it would be, and that might be one of the better places to shop overall for groceries. And I've been here about 3 weeks now, so take that for what it's worth, and that will conclude my tour of the Lower East Side. Thank you for watching.